entire body is diploid except for gametes. Except for sperm and egg.
Okay.
So everything else is haploid.
Meaning that
all the sperm and egg are haploid.
There's half the
Everything else.
chromosomes.
Half the number of chromosomes.
So if you
imagine a sperm and egg together, and they had 46 and 46, then this human would have 92, and it would be real weird.
Okay.
So the human has to have 46. So for a human to have 46, then what makes the human has to have the 23 and 23. So that means they're haploid, and every other cell in the body is diploid.
Are you
Yeah.
going to ask, because every other professor I've ever had, when it's in that X shape, in the duplicated X, they've always called that one chromosome. Are you ever going to make us call it two?
Well, the reason that you would have to figure, this is what's the problem with calling it that, is with every class that anybody makes you do, is that really it's the second copy. So
It
I won't ever
is,
ask
but
you
as
the
long as they're
terminology,
attached.
as long as the numbers are correct.
Okay, so
So-
like how would, give it me an example where I would need to know what you're talking about.
If you have a fungi, and here is the body of the fungus,
Okay,
then every cell is going to be, for example, diploid, just like a human.
right.
Okay, so do you guys wanna go over this too? It's totally up to you, but I'll just, it's totally up to you. If you guys wanna keep working, that's totally fine. I just wanna make sure if you guys understand this too. So every cell in this fungal plant is diploid, just like us. Let's just pretend it's a fungus, just since that's what we've been talking about, but same as us. So if this fungus, for example, has 5 chromosomes, it's a 5 chromosome organism. So all of these have 5 in every single cell. So what happens is then when it goes through mitosis and makes new cells, I probably shouldn't draw them circle. Let me not draw them circular because that's just gonna be confusing. Let's draw them like they come in a hyphae. So when one of these cells here replicates and makes another cell, then here you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's replication. Exactly.
Mitosis.
That's what happens after it's gone through mitosis.
Okay.
So how it does that is, let me draw this one a different color.
So is
'Cause
N
that's
2.5?
the daughter.
I don't understand.
This is the daughter. No, N is always, let me show you, let me go through that really quick. So then you have, if this one replicates, if this is going through mitosis, so that's what it would look like. It wouldn't be a lot, they'd be along one metaphase plate. Maybe I'll draw that, sorry. Now these ones are gonna go that way, these ones are gonna go that way, and now you end up with that. So this is how they're lined up on the metaphase plate.
And you're saying this is mitosis.
This is mitosis. Yeah?
And sorry.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
The 2N is referring to. I'm not
2N,
sure what the
2N equals 5, right?
Diploid.
This is a diploid, so it would have half the number from its, so it's weird that it's an odd number, but it would be like that, or like, yeah, I
So is that almost
It's a
like
weird
a-
number because it's an odd number. Let's do 6. 6 chromosomes, because it's just confusing when it's 5, but if you think of it as 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it would have half that number from its mother and half the number from its father.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's just weird when it's an odd number. They do something special then, but just so you know, like when there's the even number, they go this way, they go that way. Now you have 6 here, and now you have 6 here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So the N is like a variable almost in math, because it's like.
Yeah, and it's just like the unknown. Yeah. Mhm.
And you're, when you say, but this is all coming from a single cell.
So one single cell. Yep, it has one single cell and it's making a new single cell. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then when you talk about meiosis, I like to say it that way instead of saying meiosis. Both are the same. You can say it either way, but meiosis makes me. That's the ones that are the gametes that make me. So here, if you had a fungal organism and then you had a spore, this little spore, then the spore would have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it could go off and grow its own organism. Oh, no.
The spore would have 3, right?
The spore would have 3. I'm sorry. The spore would have 3. I'm gonna totally jack you guys up today because it's not always the case. Okay, so far, let's just
So
keep it
this,
simple.
so a
Now I'm
spore,
gonna jack you up
a
today.
spore is a diploid or a
Spore is
haploid?
haploid.
Okay.
Yeah. Diploid, haploid.
Okay.
Okay. So now it's gonna go through meiosis, which is partly, it's PMAT1 and PMAT2. It goes through 2 phases. So the first one, it's gonna
Wait a
go
second.
1, 2, 3.
Wait,
Doesn't that happen before it becomes a haploid?
Before it becomes haploid, no.
Yeah, because
Yes.
meiosis creates the haploid,
Yes,
doesn't
yes,
it?
yes,
isn't
yes.
meiosis, isn't a haploid
Meiosis.
the result?
Haploid is the
It's
result
result
of
of the
PMAT1 and PMAT2.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, yes,
a
yes.
haploid is just gonna meet up with a haploid and make a baby fungus.
Yes.
And then, but you still start off with 6. Okay,
You do.
But that's before the spore is released. Is the meiosis occurs before the spore is released, probably?
yes.
Because the spore is a
Yes.
haploid?
Well, it's like a whatever cell makes the spore. So like in us, it's like our stem cells. It's the stem cell still has the
Okay, so a
46.
spore is a diploid, and then it goes through meiosis after it's left the
Whatever
fungal?
cell makes the spore. So there's a cell here that makes the spores, that's the stem cell for the spores. I don't think it does help not talking about the stem cell situation, even though most people don't talk about it, because the stem cell itself, you're right, is diploid, and then it will go into haploid.
Well, we did talk about the stem cell in A and P, so I understand what you're talking about, but I'm just wondering if, when it's released as a spore, is it already a haploid?
Yes. so
Then
it'd
it
be
undergoes,
like
then it has
this.
to undergo meiosis before it's released.
Yeah, it goes through all of meiosis before it's released.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yes. So here, this is going to go under, if we're gonna draw them different shapes, we can do that. Except for, I don't like that. Let me read it. I wanna draw it differently, because now I just wanna make sure that they're all the same shape. So this one, if we drew it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it's going to go replicate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you end up, let's that making sense so far?
And that's,
That's, metaphase 1.
metaphase 1, okay. And that's when they have the tetra something or others.
Yeah, the tetrads.
Tetrads.
Maybe I should draw this full thread, because now we have replicated chromosomes going the wrong way. Then they're gonna split apart. There's gonna be 1, 2. So then you have, these are gonna split apart to this one, so then you have 1, 2, 3. A lot of room.
Make them a square.
Ah. I'm gonna draw them smaller. 2, 3, 4. Ah,
And that's
better?
the end of meiosis.
Yes. So this would be metaphase of mitosis.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have made it a fungus. That's where I'm gonna confuse everybody. No.
Okay, so with meiosis, you start with the diploid and it goes to 4 haploids.
4 haploids.
Okay,
Yeah.
and like each one of those haploids could be a spore.
Yeah, now you can have 4 spores.
Okay.
And that can all go make another whole organism, actually, so we'll talk
But
about that.
they must meet up with another.
They're funky, I know, now I'm gonna confuse you, because
Do they meet up with, like, is it
Because-
sexual reproduction? Do they meet up with another haploid?
a fungi can exist with some haploid, some diploid. The whole fungus can be haploid, the whole fungus can be diploid.
Oh, they break all the rules.
Yes, no rules, there's no rules.
Can they form with other
Yeah,
fungi?
yes,
spores?
and form a diploid, yeah.
So those 4
So new
that
species.
are
Yes.
meeting up with another 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it gets 6 again.
Yes, they
Okay.
can,
Okay.
yes, yeah, yeah. So you just have to kind of like know that fungi are they just can kind of do anything and they're funky, they're all off. Okay, let's get going. So we have a lot to talk about today,